From the very start, Grayson has managed to get more out of the Legion than anyone thought possible from a unit of that size. Prince Hans Davian, Tharkad, 25th of June, 3049. Few names in the history of the Inner Sphere command as much respect as Grayson Death Carlyle. From an orphaned warrior to a revolutionary tactician, Carlyle's story is one of betrayal, revenge, and ultimately, a legacy that shaped the future of warfare and returned lost technology to the Inner Sphere. Grayson Carlyle was raised in the shadow of his father, Durant Carlyle, the commander of the Carlyle's Commandos. But tragedy struck when a mysterious bandit force shattered his unit, killing his father and leaving Grayson stranded. Alone on Trail 1, he did the unthinkable. He took down battlemechs on foot, including capturing a locust whose pilot was one Lori Kalmar. His defiance impressed the local militia, earning him a chance to build his own force, the Trail 1 Lancers. Under Carlyle's leadership, the Lancers uncovered their true enemy, the Draconis Combine, led by the cunning Duke Recall. Grayson's thirst for vengeance nearly cost him everything, but instead he forged something greater, a mercenary unit that would change the course of history, the Grey Death Legion. As a newly minted mercenary unit in 3028, stationed on the planet Helm, Grayson discovered an ancient Star League computer system thought lost for over 200 years. The Legion recovered its memory core and escaped an attack by Comstar forces with the unlikely aid of their former nemesis, Duke Recall. Knowing the importance of the discovered data to the Inner Sphere as a whole, and in exchange for Recall's aid, Grayson copied the Helm memory core 6 times, keeping 1, giving 1 to the Red Duke to deliver to the Draconis Combine, and sent 4 others to each of the remaining great houses, kicking off a technological revolution. When the clans invaded, Carlyle refused to face them head-on, once again leaning into his expertise at guerrilla tactics. He and the Legion also pioneered Inner Sphere battle armor, giving his troops the edge needed to hand the clans a rare defeat on Pandora. Grayson Death Carlyle passed in 3065, but his tactics, vision, and leadership lived on. He was survived by his wife Lori, the same Locust pilot from Trail 1, and his son, Alexander. His beloved Legion would fade, but a century later, his descendants resurrected the Grey Death Legion, proving that true legends never die. Grayson Death Carlyle wasn't just a warrior, he was a force of nature, a leader, a tactician, a legend that still shapes the battlefields of the Inner Sphere today. Let's look at how you can use Carlyle on your table. Grayson Death Carlyle's mech and pilot cards can be found in the original legendary MechWarrior box set. So, we're going to take a look at that. Here is his Marauder. Slightly different sculpt than the original. And here are his pilot cards. First, we have the classic pilot card here. Grayson Death Carlyle is a 1/1 pilot. Shows that he is a colonel affiliated with the mercenary unit, the Grey Death Legion. And he's piloting the Marauder. Now, that said, you could also use him canonically in a Shadowhawk or I believe a Victor, or the other mechs that he has piloted over the years of his career. So there's a bit of lore here on his card as well. But on the back, we have the really interesting tidbits here, as we have information on the special pilot abilities that Grayson has. And so he has Combat Intuition, which cost 7, or 7 overall for his abilities. Declare use during the end phase. This pilot takes 1 damage, no consciousness rolls. Select an opposing unit. After initiative on the following turn, choose 1. This unit may perform all movement, weapon, and physical attacks in that order against its target at any point before the target moves. The target has no movement modifiers but is not immobile. Damage takes effect immediately. This unit may not make further attacks this turn. All normal modifiers to attacks against this unit apply, like range or cover, stuff like that. This unit moves after all other units and declares its fire last. So those are the 2 options. So you can either move last or you can move first, and you can basically finish all your stuff before. And since the damage even happens before the other target moves, then you could destroy them, maybe not let them get move or do anything themselves. Lucky, you may re-roll a failed attack roll or pilot skill roll once per scenario. The second roll must be accepted. And then Tactical Genius, when in command, may re-roll initiative. The second roll stands even if worse than the first. So that is Grayson Death Carlyle's classic pilot card. One thing I noticed, they spelled his name wrong on this card. They spelled it Grayson, and it is correctly spelled Grayson. I should know because my son is spelled the correct way, Grayson. And not only that, but on the Alpha Strike card, which we'll cover next, they do spell it correctly, Grayson. This is a Marauder 3R. It is 56 points, and that is mainly because he is a Skill 1 pilot. So, not a lot of damage, but again, you're getting a Skill 1 pilot, and you're getting a whole bunch of special pilot abilities that we'll go over in a second. It is a 2/3/3 with an overheat of 1 and 6 armor and 6 structure. Kind of your typical 3R model. However, again, he has the special pilot abilities. And again, they spelled his name wrong on the same card, Grey. So I don't know if they're ever reprinting any of these legendary MechWarrior boxes, but if they do, Catalyst, let's spell check there. But again, Combat Intuition, slightly different in Alpha Strike. This pilot or crew commander with the SPA has a knack for accurately predicting an enemy's actions if they focus hard enough on them. Though the intuition is not quite powerful enough to pass along to entire force, before the enemy has time to react, the warrior can make use of their insight to cut off a single opponent once in a while. So it says, if this unit sides wins initiative, the unit whose pilot has this SPA can move and resolve all of its attacks during the movement phase, applying all damage effects immediately before any target unit can act. This ability can only be used once every 3 turns. So you can't use it every turn, but again, if you're spending 56 points on Grayson Carlyle, you get this awesome ability to be able to maybe take some units off the board without getting anything back. And then Lucky, it's not really skill that places this pilot's shots, but nobody cares as long as they get the job done. For every point spent purchasing this special pilot ability, this unit may reroll 1 failed attack roll or 1 failed control roll per scenario. The second roll result stands, even if fails or is worse. It may not be used to change the outcome of other roll types such as critical hits, hull breaches, or initiative or morale. But that's okay, because we have Tactical Genius, which, if this unit is the command unit for its side, its controlling player may roll a second time for initiative if the first one roll was beaten by their opponent. So this initiative roll result stands even if it is worse. It can only be attempted once every 2 turns. A little note here, this isn't another ability, but it says, in addition, if the battlefield intelligence rules are in play, this unit is treated as if it has MHQ 4 special ability. So kind of a bonus special ability on the Alpha Strike card. So again, 56 points for Grayson Carlyle as a 1 skill pilot. You know, I think if you upgrade any pilot to skill 1, it's going to be pretty hefty of a price. But again, this is a commander with special abilities, and you're going to be using him for those special abilities. So again, Grayson Carlyle is that commander, that tactical genius. He is here to control the battlefield in a kind of unnatural way. So if you're using him on your table, that is what you want to do. You want to play him as the commander, as the tactical person. Sit back and kind of fire with that 1 skill, especially, you know, when you get that low of a skill, shooting at long range isn't as difficult. So sit back, fire, use his abilities to help control the battlefield. He is not necessarily someone that you want to run in and brawl, although obviously he's going to be fairly good at that as well. But if you get him killed early, you won't be able to use those abilities. So, well, thanks for watching this MechWarrior Memory Core about Grayson Death Carlyle. Be sure to check out our Grey Death Legion video and like and subscribe. And please let us know in the comments what you liked about this. If there's anything you'd like to see in future MechWarrior Memory Core videos, legendary MechWarriors you want to see, and we'll be sure to take a look. So thank you, and have a good day.